Phonics instruction is critical to the development of reading skills. When a child is learning through two languages, teachers should purposefully and systematically plan to make cross-linguistic connections to further a student's ability to make connections to the two languages they are learning. Here is a classroom example of cross-linguistic connections using anchor charts.
Dual language anchor charts used in the English classroom. In the dual language classroom, cross-linguistic connections allow for students to make sense of the language through which they are learning. The English language contains several rules and sound symbol variations that make the language opaque. As students begin their journey to learning English, creating cross-linguistic opportunities in phonics instruction is instrumental to students making sense of the sound symbol variations. Anchor charts such as these will facilitate their learning through this feat. This is an example of an anchor chart that can be used in both centers and small group or whole group instruction. In this particular anchor chart, we have the letter C. In English, the letter C makes two sounds, k, s. To the right, there are picture icons that you would have the students sort into the appropriate columns. The first example is a picture of coffee, k, k, coffee. The student would then place the coffee under the first column. The second picture card is a circle. Circle would go under the S column. The next picture card is a camera, which would go under the K column. And finally, circus under the S column.
Anchor charts, or letras tramposas in Spanish. In the dual language classroom, cross-linguistic connections allow for students to make sense of the language through which they are learning. The Spanish language contains very few sound symbol variations. Therefore, Spanish is considered a transparent language. However, it is critical to highlight these variations for students to identify spelling patterns in order to build fluency. As students begin their journey to learning Spanish, creating cross-linguistic opportunities in phonics instruction is instrumental to students making sense of these few sound symbol variations. Here is an anchor chart with letras tramposas. Letras tramposas are letters that are tricky because they all make the same sound. In this example, we're going to work with the letras tramposas S, Z, and C. They all say S. Notice under the letter C, there are two syllable variations, se and si. That's because when words begin with CE and CI in Spanish, they will say S. In the next anchor chart, you'll notice that the CA, CO, and CU make the K sound. So let's begin with this activity. To the right, we have a series of picture cards. In the classroom, you could have the students sort these cards independently in a center or in a whole group as explained in the English activity. Let's start with sapo. That goes under the S de sombrero. Círculo, S de cepillo. Zorro, S de zapato. Sandía, S de sombrero. Zanahoria, S de zapato. Circo, S de cepillo. In this one, we have letras tramposas, the C, the K, and the QU that make the same sound, K. As noted before, the C has only CA, CO, and CU. So café would fit under K de conejo. Kiwi, K de koala. Karate, K de koala. Quesadilla, K de queso. Cámara, K de conejo.